Sound. This is actually the last Institute of Sound as part of this series. And we've got a good presentation tonight from Anthony Pell on live performance with electronic music. I've left some feedback forms and out on the different tables, so it'd be great if people could fill one of those in, because it helps us to get an idea about if we're going to do the project again, get some feedback from people. And also, if people have filled some forms out before, it'd be great to fill another one in, because there's some extra questions we've added onto it for this one, because it's the final one. So that'd be really appreciated. So Anthony's going to talk until about 8:30, and then we're going to have Anthony will demonstrate some performing aspects, and also people can come up and have a bit of a hands-on kind of stuff as well. So stick around if you agree to that. So yeah, I'll hand over to Anthony.
Hello. Get comfortable.
Testing, 1, 2.
That's that. I want to do that again. Welcome to Institute of Sound. Basically, I'm going to give a presentation on live electronic music performance, sort of focusing a bit on a bit of the history of instruments behind that, and sort of then leading on to what I do mainly in Apell and live. So, my beautiful PowerPoint presentation. So I have a bit of an overview of what I'm going to sort of ramble on about today. So I'll sort of look at initially at the instruments used for live electronic music performance, and really I suppose it's the same thing as using the production of electronic music, equipment and everything else that basically makes things work. Everything including synthesizers, drum machines, sampling and samplers, sort of a bit of a background to how they developed and to sort of how they are obviously used a lot today in laptops and things like that. And linking in with that, we'll look a little bit at MIDI, how MIDI sort of relates to electronic music and performance, and syncing up bits of gear and making everything talk to each other, so it's all integrated. And then obviously leading to computers and software, and I'll look a lot at Apell and Live, which is a program you might have heard of, which is quite popular, which is sort of allows you to do a whole lot of these sort of things all in one program, and it's quite stable and reliable versus old computer programs used to freeze and crash a lot, and you can do quite a few nifty things with it. And I'll talk a little bit about some of the effects used within electronic music as well for production, and you can actually use those live to spice up your sound and make things sound a bit more interesting. So I'll just get launched right into it, and at the end of it I'll have questions as we go through, and hopefully be able to answer them for you, some sort of intelligent answer. So I'll sort of look at the electronic instruments. So one of the first things I suppose in electronic instruments was a thing called the Theremin, which was developed by Theremin about 1919. It sort of took off a lot, I think, in the 1950s, where it became very popular using sci-fi movies for all that sort of sound. Robert Moog built a lot of Theremins when he was sort of learning electronics before he started building synthesizers as well. A lot of other bands and rock and sort of pop from Led Zeppelin. I love that midsection in the middle there, that's a big Theremin bit with all the sort of spacey stuff, Goldfrack. Many more people use it. I have an example here of someone playing the Theremin. It basically works by that main big antenna there, which is sticking upright, is basically used for the pitch control, and the other antenna, the loop antenna on the side, is used for the volume control. So combining those two controls together, that's how you basically play it. It basically works by your body grounding the signal in relation to how far or close you are from these antenna. So I've got an old video which is quite entertaining to show you example of how you play the Theremin and as a live instrument in electronic music. This is from the 50s, obviously at some stage, or even the 40s possibly. So you can see on there the side antenna is controlling the volume of each note, and the pitch is all based on how close he's getting his hand to the vertical antenna. And obviously it takes a lot of practice and use of the ear to know whether you're in tune or not. I think that's one of the instruments I said that's very easy to learn how to play, but to play it well, it takes a lot of practice. So you can even buy Theremin kits. I think I bought one from Dick Smith once, and I built it, lasted me 10 minutes before it died, but you can buy better quality ones, I think, on eBay and online that are, I think, Robert Moo possibly still sells kits, I don't know. He used to.
Well, man's dead, so.
Not anymore, well, it's his company maybe.